All right, welcome to the 34th edition of the Sports Mashup. We'll probably have some connection issues at some point during this if I had to guess, so we're just going to roll with it and go from there, and hopefully we can recover from it like we did last week. But lots to get to, really into the time of the year where there's tons of action all across the world of sports. The NBA is where we start. The season has finally started there. Opening night, the Bucks getting their rings, If you ask me, fraudulent champions. I think the Suns got hosed. Everybody knows it.
Not even just rings / necklaces.
Yeah, it's BS. The Suns should have won. Everybody knows it. But
let me take the top half off. Looks like kind of how the Bucks did their ring. But then
fancy stuff these days.
Let's pull a piece out that's on a swivel, and you can run a necklace through it and wear it as a necklace.
Yeah, that's what they do these days. Also, the second game, the Warriors beat the Lakers at the Staples Center. Klay Thompson, I don't know when he's going to be back. I think I saw something about February for him. So I still think they'll be pretty good without him. They got a lot of players around Curry that are, decent. They don't have any other stars with them, but they have a lot of players that are, good enough.
This has been –
he had a triple-double without scoring very much.
This has been one of the longest recoveries.
Oh, he got hurt twice. He tear the ACL first and then the Achilles when he was getting ready for last season. So it's 2 injuries. So, it's been a long time. Last time we saw him was June 2019, which is, by my calculations, coming up on
you're 8 months away from 2 years.
16 months plus 8 is 24. So, boom, nailed it. That was good math. Ben Simmons, we've talked about many times, kicked out of practice yesterday. Didn't want to sub into a drill. This dude's a clown. And I'm also starting to get annoyed with the Sixers organization for even wanting him to be there.
The one video I showed him with the first day was at practice or whatever, he had his cell phone in his pocket at practice.
See, I think that was a myth buster. I think that it was actually the practice jersey that he didn't want to wear. He put it in his pocket. I think that's what Shams said. So I don't think that was actually his phone. If it was his phone, he's got a big phone. But I think it was a jersey.
Or small pockets.
I think it was a jersey they didn't want to wear. So, he's a loser. Let's just be honest. I've never seen a worse player do this kind of stuff. He's not good. The only place where he could actually go and fit is the Nets. Because the Nets don't need offense, which he provides none. They don't need offense. They need a facilitator type if they want him. Trade Kyrie for Ben Simmons. Let's do it. Maximum chaos. The NBA likes that.
That's not happening.
I'm down for it, though. We'll see. I want to look at a couple prop bets. I wrote some down here. DAHN. I'm going to go with that all day. Shout out Pittsburgh. Pat McAfee. Shout out. I did write a few things down as you shake the head at my geniusness. These are not the teams that I would pick, but they're the numbers that I like and just kind of throwing some stuff out there. Maybe trying to go a little bit outside the box. Nuggets plus 2,000 to win the NBA title. I think if Jamal Murray's healthy, you got Michael Porter Jr. there. You have Aaron Gordon there. You have a pretty good bench. Will Barton. They have the dude that is the point guard, Francesco, whatever the hell his name is. That was starting last year in place of Murray. So I think there's a lot there. Jokic obviously still there. I think the Nuggets.
I was going to say, are you ever going to say the MVP?
I was getting to it. I was getting around to it. I was trying to circle the wagons all the way until we got back to them. The Nets plus 100 to win the East. I don't know. I feel like when you have this good of a team and you have a letdown last year, I said it properly that time, then you are usually prone to having a better season. I think that's kind of how the world works. So I think the Nets are going to win.
Or not on the length of time or if Kyrie gets this vaccine?
That's a good question. I bet there is. I know there's a Ben Simmons one. I can't remember what it was. I don't think it was based on three-pointers this year.
I'm definitely not taking it.
Yeah, that's not worth it. What a loser. First of all, he screws you on that. Then he's just a flat-out bad player. He was terrible in the postseason, and now he's doing all this stuff. So very questionable.
$10 to win me like 600 and something, all if he made 5 threes in the year.
The Ben Simmons special this year is Ben Simmons to convert first free throw attempt of the regular season. Yes, minus 145. No, plus 125. So that's the Ben Simmons special of the year. And then player props. I don't see anything about Kyrie Irving right now. So, yeah, I don't think they have that. But maybe they'll get it. Maybe we should send in a request. I'm going a little bit off the board here. Not off the board, but down the board with the Mavericks plus 1,300 to win the West. I think Luka's that good. I think players around him are going to be better. And why not? I don't think it's probably going to happen, but plus 1,300 is pretty high. And I think that outside of Phoenix and the two Los Angeles teams and the Nuggets and the Lakers, I already mentioned the two LA teams. Why did I go there again? Outside of those teams, I think the Mavericks are good. Why not throw something on it?
The one that could have helped that odd would have been if they could have gotten Markkanen.
Yeah, I think that definitely would have helped. You had another player in there, but I just think that Porzingis kind of does exactly what Markkanen does at this point. So, I mean, I think Markkanen is probably not as good as Porzingis at this point, but he could be down the road. But, yeah, the West is pretty top-heavy. I mean, there's not much after, like, the top 7 teams, I would say. The Pelicans are a huge question mark with Zion apparently getting up to 300 pounds before the season. We'll see if that affects him.
Maybe he was just getting ready to cut it all, so then he practiced all summer with the overweight so he could just fly even higher.
I guess so. We could see. I think the Suns have a lot more scoring this season, so I'm going to go Devin Booker under 26.2 points per game. I'm thinking 23, 24 is going to be the sweet spot there. I'm wearing Suns shirt, by the way. Season starts tonight. Actually going to win the title this year. Minus 115 on that one. And then a guy who is in OKC and has like nothing around him for the most part, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, over 23.3 points per game, minus 120. So a couple Kentucky guys there. And now I'm going to go Embiid, I think, is pissed. Simmons is gone. He clearly, with what Embiid's saying, he does not like Ben Simmons at all. So I'll take Embiid plus 800 to win the MVP. Why not? If he stays healthy, he's going to average 30 and 15 probably. It's all about staying healthy, though.
Not happening.
Plus 800 is a high number for a player as good as him. And I will also take Davion Mitchell plus 1,800 to win Rookie of the Year. He's in Sacramento. He's going to score a lot. And then I just threw this one on there. Ime Udoka plus 1,500 Coach of the Year for the Celtics. I feel like the Celtics will be like if he wins it, him winning it, they would have to be like a top 3 Eastern Conference team because I don't think anybody expects him to be top 3. And then they'll probably lose in the postseason. But why not throw him out there? I didn't really – it was either him or Michael Malone, maybe whoever's coaching Dallas now. I forgot the name of that coach now because I think Carlisle's gone, right? So, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. So I got those, and then at the end of this episode, I'll throw some more soccer picks.
Is it not Jason? Is it not Jason Kidd?
Did they hire Jason Kidd? I guess so. Probably should have remembered that. But yeah, let's go to the NFL. Later on in the episode, I'll have some picks from the Premier League and other soccer leagues. I went 1-1 last week, by the way, so shout out to that. All right, NFL Week 5. No, it was Week 6. I think I keep forgetting to change this. Week 6. Okay. It was a brutal beat for your Bucks and Eagles. Bucks were minus 6.5. They won by 6. Weird deal. I mean, the Eagles go for 2.
That 2-point conversion made no sense there.
Well, I think the analytics say that going for 2 the first time instead of the second time is.
They didn't need it either, though. If they kicked a field goal there, they're down 7.
Yeah, I don't know.
It made no sense to go for 2 there, other than to screw everyone on betting the spread.
Does anything make sense when it comes to a bad team with a first-year head coach? Probably not.
Unless that head coach had money on the Eagles.
Bucks win, though. What are they, 5-1?
Yeah, unless that coach had money on the Eagles. That's the only thing that makes sense there.
He could have. Why not? He could have. I mean, I think that goes on more than people think.
That's the only thing that makes sense to go for 2 there.
I would agree with that. Okay, let's do the second game that I wrote on here, which was the Jaguars getting their first win of the Urban Meyer era over the Dolphins. The Dolphins look atrocious. And before we get to the other games,
how to do it in London.
yeah, there was a report from John McClain, not the one from Die Hard, but the Texans beat reporter, saying that a Deshaun Watson to the Dolphins trade could happen this week. And if it doesn't happen this week, there was other guys reporting as well. I think Mark Berman is a person that is existing in Houston, who's a big-time reporter down there, who said that it could happen before the deadline. So I think this is a case of a desperate ownership group. Stephen Ross is the owner of the Dolphins, very much wants to win and be flashy, and they are bad and they need something. So I think Deshaun Watson makes perfect sense there if he can play.
But
Tua's not any good.
His stat line did not look bad for Sunday's game.
I mean, yeah, but he doesn't stay healthy, and he's not that good when he's playing. So is it worth it? I mean,
like
I don't know. I feel like the Herbert thing is going to haunt them forever.
His stat line looked good, and him coming back.
And they still lost. So there's some serious problems there.
Yeah, but is that on the offense or the defense?
Probably a little bit of both.
I mean, you also got outscored by the Jacksonville offense.
They should score more
than that good.
Well, they're the Jacksonville offense is kind of like boom or bust because Lawrence could have a good game here and then. They have a lot of weapons there, but and their running game should be pretty good for the most part. I don't know. It's a weird thing. The Dolphins are in a really bad spot. Aaron Rodgers still owns the Bears as the Packers beat the Bears 24-14 Soldier Field. Packers now 5-1. Good game for my guys. You know, a lot of injuries still. That's concerning. A ton of injuries, actually. And the Bears offense, I feel like it should be a lot better or they should score more than they do. Fields looks the part.
Allen Robinson needs out of there.
I mean,
get him out.
The problem for Allen Robinson, yeah, get him out. I don't think he's been that good, you know? I don't know. Darnell Mooney.
He needs out of there.
I don't even think Allen Robinson is the best receiver on that team. I think Darnell Mooney's better.
He would flourish in somebody else's offense.
Well, how many times do I say it? Allen Robinson's fault. Could have gone to Green Bay. Didn't do it. Oh, let me go to Chicago. I'm sure this will be good.
Do you like Rodgers' cockiness at the end of this game?
Well, I feel like when you're 22-5 against a team and half of the fans in the front few rows are flipping you off, I feel like you should do whatever you want. And your boy Tom Brady congratulated him. Tom should do that to the Bills. You seen Brady's record against the Bills? It's absurd. It's like 32 and something. It's ridiculous. Why not? I think this is good for the game. I would say that if it was any other quarterback too, as long as they have the record to back it up, which he does. He's got 57 touchdowns and 10 picks against them, 22-5. I think 10-3 at Soldier Field. I mean, that is embarrassing for the Bears. I think that's why a lot of Bears fans are like, yeah, you should say that because we stink against them. So, why not? The Bengals, Cardinals, Rams, Colts, Ravens all won. Ton of blowouts. The Bengals blew out the Lions, who are terrible. The Cardinals blew out a Browns team that has so many injuries. Now they have to turn around and play Thursday night. The Rams blew out the Giants, who look terrible. Colts blew out the terrible Texans. And the Ravens blew out the Chargers. So a lot of people on the Chargers train, they come back and get destroyed by Baltimore, who looks very good. So a lot of blowouts. So red zone, not the greatest on Sunday.
Yeah, the Chargers-Ravens game kind of threw me off. And the Cardinals game, I mean, they were not the favorite in that game, even though I picked the Cardinals to win that game.
Yeah, I picked the Browns because I thought the Cardinals were due to lose, but I don't know if the Cardinals are ever going to lose. I mean, they got the Texans this week. I think they're 17.5-point favorites. The only spot where you see them losing is the Packers Thursday night, but I just think the Packers have so many injuries that it's really hard to turn around and play 4 days later.
They lose Max Williams for probably the year, and they're like, hey, Philly, I know you guys haven't been using this guy much, even though your other tight end's on the COVID list, but can we get Zach Ertz? Oh, yeah, bring him over.
Yeah, Zach Ertz is going to do some things there. I think he'll score some touchdowns in the red zone. I think he'll be in a better spot, or he's in a better spot.
For what, like a corner?
I don't even remember the trade. I feel like the Eagles are heading into a rough patch because they're going to have a lot of expensive old players. Like their cap room is going to be screwed but we'll see. Chiefs win 31-13 over Washington football team. Mahomes was brutal in the first half. 2 interceptions. The second interception was terrible. He's like falling to the ground, threw it straight up in the air. Really dumb. So the interception luck for Mahomes kind of turning around because he had a lot of drop picks last year. Now he's starting to throw a lot. But Chiefs still won by 18, so what does it matter? Washington goes to Green Bay now. We'll see if they can actually find something. Their defense just looks bad. The Vikings won a wild one in overtime over the Panthers. The Vikings had 571 total yards. They won that 34-28. Other overtime games, the Cowboys, crazy win in Foxborough. Deep pass to CeeDee Lamb to win that. Steelers won in overtime on Sunday Night Football. Geno Smith fumbles. TJ Watt knocked it out. Then Geno Smith fumbled. And then Devin Bush picks it up, starts to run the wrong way, and then turns around. Second time he run the wrong way in the game, by the way. Not great. The Raiders did win. First game post-Gruden. They beat the Broncos. Rich Bisaccia, I believe his name is, with his first win as an interim head coach. And the Titans
I called that game.
Yeah, I feel like that was one that I'm an idiot. I feel like I should have taken the Raiders, but I didn't. The Titans stopped Josh Allen on 4th and inches. Allen kind of slipped. And then 34-31, Titans beat the Bills.
And
Derrick Henry.
This shouldn't have been 4th and inches. His diving play on the sideline should have gave him first down.
Yeah, I also think that McDermott should have kicked it.
Yeah, or if not kick it, every other time Josh Allen had tried QB sneaking it, he was stuffed. You've got 2 pretty good running backs behind him. Let them get you the 1 foot that they need.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. I like the aggressiveness, but I also think maybe just kick that just to get to overtime, but whatever. Week 6 awards in the NFL.
Derrick Henry had 143 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. One of them was broke, and he got touched at the line of scrimmage and then wasn't touched the rest of the way. And his average per run goes up per quarter.
He might get 1 million touches this year.
In the fourth quarter, he averages 6.3 yards a carry. It goes from like 2 to 3 to 4 to 6.
Yeah, the last team to really shut him down was the Green Bay Packers last year at Lambeau. Of course, it was snowing, which is when he should be his best. Somehow, some way, the Packers were like, hey, we know what we're doing. Just saying. And then people should ask them for the blueprint.
No.
Yeah, probably. Week 6 awards, you had Offensive Players of the Week in each conference. Dak Prescott in the NFC, Derrick Henry, of course, in the AFC. Defensive Players of the Week, Taylor Rapp for the Rams in the NFC and TJ Watt for the Steelers. Made 2 big-time plays late in that game Sunday night in the AFC. NFC Special Teams Player of the Week, Matt Prater for the Cardinals, and then Matthew Wright for the Jaguars in the AFC. He kicked the game winner for them. Division leaders after 6 weeks. Cowboys, Packers, Bucks leading the East, North, and South, all at 5-1. Then the Cardinals lead the West 6-0. Bills lead the AFC East at 4-2. Ravens 5-1. They lead the North. Titans lead the South 4-2. Chargers lead the West 4-2. And then the last NFL thing I have here is the Packers looking to sign former Texans defensive end Whitney Merciless after he was released. University of Illinois. Shout out to him. And Packers just need bodies at this point. They have an absurd amount of injuries on both sides of the ball. So need bodies. He's got 3 sacks, so I'm hoping he can come in and do something. I mean, Jalen Smith, who they signed a couple weeks ago from Dallas, if he's not rushing the passer, he is terrible. So hopefully they can figure that out. I don't know why he was playing as much as he did when they have Barnes and Devondre Campbell, but hopefully
he's an athlete. You got to let him go.
Yeah, he's bad. I mean, they have the highest rated inside linebacker this season, Devondre Campbell, and they're making him play next to Jalen Smith on 1st and 2nd down. I don't know why we're doing that. Chris Barnes is better, but whatever. And as I mentioned, John McClain, the one that was actually not from Die Hard, said that the Texans and Dolphins could have a Watson deal done. So let's go to golf. Rory McIlroy back in the winner's circle.
Yeah, the winner of the CJ Cup, Rory McIlroy, won 1.7 million, shot 25 under. Right behind him was Colin Morikawa at 24 under. This week we have the Zozo Championship, defending champion Patrick Cantlay. This is at the Accordia Golf Narashino Country Club in Chiba, Japan.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Some names there, I think, playing. So we'll see.
I didn't see Cantlay playing, so defending champion not present.
Yeah, I think he's taking some time. Winning the FedEx Cup and the Ryder Cup. Probably won't see him until January or February, if I had to guess. But there you go. Let's do some college basketball. We haven't gotten into a ton of that recently. They did release the AP Top 25 for the preseason. I didn't have too many problems with it, being the college basketball connoisseur that I call myself. I do have my own top 30 that I'll be releasing at a later time and date, a couple weeks from now, I believe. But, yeah, I mean, you have, some schools that weren't very good last year coming back in, Duke and Kentucky getting back in there. Gonzaga's number 1, UCLA number 2, Kansas 3, Villanova 4, Texas 5, Michigan 6, Purdue 7, Baylor 8, Duke 9, Kentucky 10, Illinois 11, Memphis 12. So there's the top 12. And a couple issues that I have with the top 12 personally, and it's not a big deal because it doesn't mean anything. I think Purdue's better than Michigan, and I think it's a little bit disrespectful to put Kentucky ahead of Illinois because I don't think Kentucky on paper looks better than Illinois. So, and based on last season, they weren't good at all. This is obviously a completely different team because that's how it works. But also I think Texas is more 2 or 3 in my opinion. I don't think UCLA is number 2, and I think Kansas is a little further up than they should be. And Memphis is at number 12 based on talent. Like they've done nothing to show that they're a good team. They have a lot of youth there. So
they won the NIT, and Penny was happy with that.
That is true. They did do that, so that's something, I guess. And then, just rounding it out, that Virginia barely made it at 25. North Carolina's in there at 19. Oregon 13. You had Ohio State in at 17. So a lot of teams in there that aren't surprising. St. Bonaventure's a big one, though. They're 23rd. First time they've been ranked in the preseason, I think, in a long-ass time.
North Carolina would be weird to see the first couple games without Roy Williams as their coach.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird year in the Duke, North Carolina thing because you have the last year of Coach K, the first year of Hubert Davis. I kind of feel like I wish Roy Williams did one more season so they could both it be their last year. I feel like that would really take this to the next level.
Nah.
I'm just saying it really would. Just a sneak peek, since we did mention North Carolina, they're 16th on my preseason top 30 that I worked out. So this is what I wrote about them, just so everybody knows. The first year of a new era for the Tar Heels as the Hubert Davis era begins in Chapel Hill. A backcourt of Caleb – just about died there. Caleb Love, RJ Davis, and Kerwin Walton will lead the way with Marquette transfer Dawson Garcia playing alongside Armando Bacot underneath. They'll have an underrated bench with Brady Manick from Oklahoma, Leaky Black, and others. So I think they're going to be good, but I don't think they're going to be top tier of the ACC. I think top tier of the ACC is kind of really not going to exist because I don't think there's any upper level teams. Like Duke is good, but outside of them, it's like – and Duke is another unknown team because you have – I know they have some guys that came back, Roach and Williams are there, but, Banchero, what's he going to be? Who the hell's the name of the other dude I'm thinking of? AJ Griffin. I mean, they got some young guys there. We'll see. I like their bench, though, a lot. Joey Baker, Theo Johns. I think Duke's bench is going to be really good. But that's enough college hoops talk. Season starts in less than a month. I believe the season starts in 20 days. I believe it starts on a Tuesday, so it's less than 3 weeks, so we're really getting there. I just want to look at this real quick. 3manweave.com, shout out to them. Their top 5 players going into this season features players from both of our teams in their top 100, so I want to go over that. But real quick, LSU will lose former Illinois starter, started all the games last year. Torn ACL out for the season, so that really affects LSU. I thought they would have a very good backcourt with a couple of bragging rights players from last season. Xavier Pinson from Missouri, then Miller from Illinois. Now Miller's out, so that affects LSU. The top 5 of the top 100. Number 1 is Drew Timme, not surprising. Favorite to win the National Player of the Year, Gonzaga. Number 2 is Kofi Cockburn, returns to Illinois. So shout out, another guy that's going to be in there. I don't know why I keep saying shout out, and then I keep mixing it like every other one, shout out or shout out, whatever. Number 3 is Chet Holmgren, number 1 overall recruit. Good luck stopping Gonzaga's back front court because, my God, 5-star number 1 overall recruit. Number 4 is Duke's best prospect, Paolo Banchero, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He's number 4. Then E.J. Liddell, Ohio State, is number 5. So there you go. College hoops. You can cover the MLB if you want. I don't really. I feel like I'm gonna, lose my voice if I keep talking.
Are you sure you don't want to talk about this first one?
We will talk about it. I mean, you can read the headline. Gotta take a drink.
Our St. Louis Cardinals fired Mike Schill. He's likely to be interviewed by the Padres and others. I'm not really surprised by this, but I really hope they don't sign Skip Schumacher to bring in a guy who played with some of these other guys that are on the roster, like how the Cubs did with David Ross.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. I know a lot of people are making, comments about it, and that could happen. But here's the thing. There was a point in the season where I wanted Schilt to be fired. But at the end of the season, it's like, and I'm not saying this because of the winning streak, but it's like the players like him. I don't think his management style is that bad. But if you're going to get rid of him, you have to find something that's better or find something that makes sense. I don't really see that. I feel like the two routes that you go here is either get an experienced guy, which I wish they would do for the love of God. The last 2 managers they've hired had no experience. Matheny, none. Schilt didn't have any major league experience, but he had a lot of coaching experience coming up through the system since 2004. They basically kicked him to the curb. I don't think they treated him with enough respect, being with the fact that he's been here in the organization for 17 years. And I think that the Cardinals want to get more analytically driven. Schilt doesn't want that. I think that's kind of the philosophical differences that they mentioned as to why they fired him. Buck Showalter would make a lot of sense. He's experienced. He's not a billion years old like La Russa and Dusty Baker, but it's just not going to happen. I think he's 3rd or 4th in the odds to be the next manager. And I'm pretty sure this is the route they'll go, and it's the only one that makes sense if they're going to go internally. Stubby Clapp is the only guy.
I had 3 internal guys.
Stubby Clapp is the only guy that I want if it's an internal guy.
Mine was Okendo.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen. I don't think he wants to be here all year. I think he wants to be in Florida teaching the minor leaguers.
He doesn't want the TV time because he doesn't speak that well English.
I mean, I would love to have a guy like Carlos Beltran if he's like Alex Cora. Cora, everybody plays for him.
My other 2 were Pop Warner.
I think he's too old.
And the last one was Willie McGee.
I think Pop Warner's too close with Schilt to take this job.
Willie McGee. He's been in the clubhouse for how many years now?
Yeah, I just don't see him as a manager, though. Stubby Clapp, I do, because he won the AAA championship a couple years ago with Memphis, and he's a guy that has been interviewed by other teams to be the manager already. So I feel like if they're going to go internal, that's the only one that makes sense to me. If they're going to go inexperienced internal, major league level-wise, I think Stubby Clapp's the only guy. And he's got a great name. That's a name you could sell right there. It really is. Oliver or Ali Marmol, as they call him, is another guy that's internally looked at. But Beltran deserves another chance as a manager. I think that he would be a very good players manager, just like Alex Cora. I would be down for that if he is like Alex Cora for the Red Sox. But, yeah, I don't know. I hope Schilt goes to the Mets because I want to see the New York media with him and his BS cliches and all that stupid shit that he says. I'd love to see that, but it'll probably be the Padres. And it's a better job, clearly. More young talent. I know they're dealing with the Dodgers and Giants, but you get to go to San Diego, which is better than St. Louis to live, obviously. So we'll see. And then the Yankees re-signed Aaron Boone, 3-year deal with an option for a 4th year. Pretty much all they said was, well, if we don't get rid of him, or if we get rid of him, we'd be looking for something like him. And if we got rid of him, he'd be one of the top candidates in the market. Okay, cool, whatever. Yankees are going to be mediocre for the rest of time.
They also said they signed him, but they want things to change.
I don't know. The Yankees are a weird franchise at this point. Since George Steinbrenner's been gone for over a decade, it's kind of really gone downhill.
I mean, they already got rid of half this coaching staff.
Yep. And if you're Aaron Boone, I don't know if you like that loyalty and stuff. Are they going to let him have any input as to who they hire as the hitting coach and third base coach or whatever? Who knows? We don't know.
But the ALCS is tied 2-2 between the Astros and the Sox. And the NLCS is 2-1 Braves over the Dodgers. Game 4 should be going on right now as we right now as we're almost finished recording.
Yeah, the momentum of the Astros-Red Sox series changed because Laz Diaz is a terrible home plate umpire last night. He missed 23 calls.
Oh, wait, which game's going on now? That Houston game is...
This should be 3-1 Red Sox.
That's Framber Valdez versus Chris Sale.
Yep.
Game 5. Tomorrow you'll have Braves-Dodgers with Urias pitching for the Dodgers, I know of.
I think it's a bullpen game for the Braves. Jesse Chavez starting, so I don't think he's going to go very long. We'll see how these series turn out. A couple NHL items here. News-wise, the league has suspended Evander Kane 21 games without pay for having a fake vaccine card. So Evander Kane gets stupider and stupider by the day. Congrats to him. He's probably never going to play.
He already had, the gambling thing? Or?
Gambling addict. His ex-wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, had a bunch of other accusations against him. So not great. The Sharks look pretty good. I think they're 2-0. They beat the Canadiens last night. Speaking of the Canadiens, they're 0-4. My God, they look terrible.
The Sabres are 2-0 or 3-0?
3-0. The Sabres are 3-0. The Sabres are an elite club, apparently. I don't know. They might not get more than 15 more wins, but it's been a fun ride to this point. They beat the Canucks last night. So they have a lot of really good young players in Buffalo, but it's just hard to put it together when you have a terrible – they're paying, I think, $13 million to Jeff Skinner and Kyle Okposo this season. Those guys are not $13 million total guys. I mean, they both scored last night, so good for them. People think the Lightning are doing it again. I mean, Kucherov did get hurt. You can see it clear as day, and it's the NHL's fault for having the LTIR structure. He goes to LTIR, should be back during the season. I believe John Cooper said he would not miss the entire season. So now they have, $9.5 million back on LTIR so they can spend it. Trade for Jack Eichel, throw him on LTIR, then trade for Tarasenko, bring them all back in the playoffs. Thoughts? Why not? I saw people suggesting that because the cap does not matter in the playoffs. So they could literally trade for Tarasenko and Eichel. By the way, Tarasenko looks like a shell of his former self at this point in the season. I mean, he was pretty good in the second game. The first game, not good. Second game, he had a lot of shots, just couldn't buy a goal. But, we'll see if the Lightning make any moves with that salary cap money. We will see. And then Max Pacioretty and Mark Stone are already out for Vegas. I think Pacioretty's an extended guy, 6 weeks or more. I think Stone is more day-to-day or week-to-week, so Vegas dealing with some injury issues. They play the Blues tonight as part of the TNT doubleheader. Both of our teams in action. Bruins-Flyers first game, and then you have the Blues and Golden Knights in the second game. So I really like TNT and ESPN's first week of coverage last week. TNT's crew is very good. Gretzky, Tocchet, Biz, Anson Carter. I think that's a very good crew. So they're doing a good job already. So hopefully they keep that up, and we'll see tonight. Also, I was on TV, so my tweet that I wrote about Biz was on the screen on NHL on TNT. So shout out to me and TNT's producers for finding my tweet. I was pretty much calling out Biz for having an answer that was an entire essay without actually saying anything. I think a lot of people were telling him to take a breath, just like I probably should here soon. Scoring leaders after 1 week. In goals, 5 goals tied between Anze Kopitar and Tyler Bertuzzi. Assists tied between Draisaitl, Doughty, and Hedman. Points are tied between Anze Kopitar, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, all of 8 points to start the season. So hot starts there. I believe McDavid had 4 last night. So, nothing new. We've seen it. But college football, interesting things happening, especially that Ole Miss-Tennessee game last week was insane with the fans throwing stuff all over the field for about 20 minutes. So, interesting week.
They pull almost – I don't know how they didn't pull everyone off the field.
Yeah, they had to finish it.
Lane Kiffin got hit with something.
Someone threw a golf ball at him, but I think it missed. It just landed right next to him.
And then when they continued play, everyone ran back down the seats and started throwing stuff again.
And here's the other thing. When that game ended, Tennessee has a chance to win there. They need 25 or 30 yards, throw it into the end zone, get lucky, maybe he catches it, you win. Joe Milton runs out of bounds to end the game. Doesn't even throw it, runs out of bounds. The dumbest thing I've ever seen. And also, I nailed the Purdue-Iowa thing, by the way. I love Purdue in that game. They got it done.
When did you say anything about that game?
I picked it, Purdue. I picked Purdue, and I was like, this is a big game for Purdue. I don't know if they'll win, but they'll cover. So I almost nailed it. I mean, I didn't say they'd win. I didn't have the stones, but – And Penn State, Illinois this week. You going to get any action on that one? I guess it's not listed on Barstool or DraftKings Sports, but 24-point favorite, Penn State.
We'll see.
Bounce back spot.
But the top 25, you have Georgia State's put at 1. Cincinnati goes up to number 2. Oklahoma goes up 1 to number 3. Alabama goes up 1 to number 4. Ohio State goes up 1 to number 5. Michigan goes up 2 to number 6. Penn State stays at 7. OK State goes up 4 to number 8. Michigan State goes up 1 to number 9. Oregon wins and still loses, drops a spot to number 10. Iowa losing drops them 9 spots to number 11. Ole Miss goes up 1 to 12. Notre Dame up 1 to number 13. Coastal Carolina goes up another. How far will they climb? Sitting at 14.
They got to win tonight.
Kentucky drops 4 to number 15. Wake Forest stays at 16. Texas A&M goes up 4 to 17. NC State up 4 to 18. Auburn at 19 was not ranked. Baylor at 20 was not ranked. SMU up 2 to 21. San Diego State up 2 to 22. Pittsburgh at 23 not ranked. UTSA, which I believe is University of Tulsa San Antonio.
Texas San Antonio.
What'd I say?
Tulsa.
Oh.
Same thing.
They were not ranked, and Purdue is at 25 after also being not ranked.
All right. Picks for the week. Last week, 13-9 for me, 6-2 in college football, 3-5 in the NFL, 1-1 in baseball, 1-1 in hockey, and I hit on 2 at the CJ Cup. Sam Burns top 5, Sung JM top 10.
What did you say?
156 and 139. What?
What'd you do in both footballs?
I went 6-2 in college, 3-5 in the NFL.
I was 9-12. I'm now at 155 and 144.
Okay, so I have one more win, 5 less losses. So you better watch out, everybody. Things are getting interesting. I mean, there's a lot of picks this week, so lots to do.
Yeah, and you get 2 golfers. I mean, I had 2 guys. I picked the winner and another winner who finished second.
It's part of the game, I suppose, huh? Zozo Championship this week. My picks to win. Give me Morikawa plus 700. Ricky Fowler was close last week. I think he can get it done this week. Plus 2,500. And Charlie Hoffman plus 3,500 to win. Top 5, Zalatoris plus 350. And top 10, give me Xander, who won the gold medal across the into the other continent a few months ago. So minus 165 to finish top 10 for Xander Schauffele.
I as well took Morikawa and Hoffman, and then I have Joaquin Niemann at plus 2,000. My top 5 is Hideki Matsuyama at plus 275. My top 10 is Ricky Fowler at plus 190.
I think Ricky's a guaranteed top 10. Guaranteed.
I'm trying to scoop 2 points here.
It's going to be a guarantee.
So, okay, that right there, listeners, just means Ethan just jinxed me. He will be cut after day 2.
I mean, I want him to win. So, if he wins, that's a top 10 for you and a win for me. We each get an added W.
Hopefully he finishes like second.
All right, college football. Power 5 conference games. I am taking Minnesota minus 5 versus Maryland in the Big Ten. Virginia Tech minus 3.5 against Syracuse in the ACC. Ole Miss minus 9 against LSU in the SEC. In the Big 12, give me West Virginia plus 4.5 at TCU. And then the Pac-12, give me Utah minus 3 at Oregon State.
You always got to order.
The
ACC, I have Virginia Tech minus 3.5. They're not winning back-to-back games at home. The Big 12, I have Texas Tech minus 1 over Kansas State. Big 10, I have Purdue plus 3 at home against Wisconsin. Pac-12, I have Utah minus 3 at Oregon State. And the SEC, I have LSU plus 9 at number 12 Ole Miss. And then our primetime games, We have number 14, Coastal Carolina at Appalachian State. Number 10, Oregon at UCLA. And number 22, San Diego State at Air Force.
I like Coastal Carolina -4.5 tonight. I like San Diego State +3.5. And then I like Oregon +2.5.
The line's 5-2. I even wrote it down on the thing.
What'd you write down?
On the doc. It even has the line on it.
Oh, well, I just took it at whatever it was when I took it, so I don't really – I like the hook. 4.5 and 2. One went up, one went down. 5 and 2, sorry.
I got Coastal Carolina -5, Oregon +2, and San Diego State +3.5.
So we all went the same there, and since we did all go the same, I'll change mine to 5 and 2 just to be fair, because we did all pick the same. So we'll do that. Let's do the other things before we get to the NFL, which means that we'll go to the Major League postseason. Dodgers and Braves game 4. Easy for me. The Dodgers momentum shifted -220. I'll take the Dodgers over the Braves.
I as well took the Dodgers, plus with it being a bullpen game for the Braves.
Yep. Easy pick. NHL picks for tomorrow. Give me the Oilers -200 against a terrible Arizona team. And if Montreal is 0-4, I mean, they're going to win at some point, and it's Kotkaniemi returning to Montreal if they didn't match the offer sheet this summer. Canadians -110 home against the Carolina Hurricanes. Got to win some point.
I have Washington -130 over the Devils, and Colorado +100 over Florida.
The Colorado-Florida game is going to be really good. Colorado's going to be desperate. They've lost a couple in a row. They got destroyed last night. McKinnon's back, though, so we'll see. NBA picks for tomorrow. Give me the Mavericks, team that I said +1,300 to win the West. Take them +2.5 against the Hawks. I'll take that. Warriors, I think the Warriors are going to win again. I don't think the Clippers are going to be very good without Kawhi to start the season. Warriors -3 against the Clippers.
Oh, you took the spread.
It could be money line or spread. It doesn't matter.
I got the Bucks -120 over the Heat, and the Warriors -155 over the Clippers.
All right, NFL, Week 7, Thursday night game. Very hard game to gauge. Baker Mayfield out, Nick Chubb out, Kareem Hunt out. Are the Browns even going to have a team? Case Keenum starting a quarterback.
What's wrong with Baker?
I think he re-aggravated that torn labrum injury, so left shoulder. So I think it's smart to sit him out. Short week. I don't even care about all that. I'm taking the Browns -2. Case Keenum, rally the troops. I still like the running backs, even with Chubb and Hunt out. Demetric Felton and the other dude, they're good enough to get it done. Browns -2 against the Broncos.
I have the Broncos +3.
All right, so you're going with the Broncos, huh? Interesting. I don't think it's going to happen. The Broncos are a bad football team. Bad football team. We'll see, though. It's very much a barn burner. We go from a barn burner Browns-Broncos to Packers-Cardinals next Thursday, so that's a big jump there. Sunday games, I hate this slate so much. Number one, this isn't even a very good slate. Number two, half these games I don't even want to touch, but screw it. I'm going to trust Bill Belichick against the Jets. It always goes this way. Give me the Patriots -7 against the Jets. The Ravens are rolling. Why not? Keep it rolling. -6.5 home against the Bengals. I still think that's a bit high, considering the Bengals are pretty good, but whatever. The Giants cannot be this bad, and the Panthers don't look very good. I'll take the Giants +3 against the Panthers. I think the Bucks win, but I think the Bears cover. I think 12.5 is a very high number. The Bears did beat the Bucks last year, to be fair, which that was before the Bucks were a completely different team, which they've become now. Then I'll take the Eagles +3 at the Raiders because why not?
I have the Falcons -2.5 at Miami. The Pats -7 at home against the Jets. Panthers -3 at the Giants. The Raiders -3 at home against the Eagles. And then the last one, I have the Rams -15 against the Lions.
Revenge game for Matthew Stafford. Revenge game for Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm.
Big showdown.
And then Sunday Night Football, we have the Colts at the Niners, 4-point spread in favor of the Niners. I don't know who's quarterbacking the Niners. I'm guessing Jimmy Garoppolo's back.
Yeah, I'd take the Niners. I'm rolling with the Niners. I have it at 4.5.
I got it at 4.
Monday
Night Football, Saints and Seahawks, 5-point spread in favor of the Saints. I don't know about this.
I'll take the Seahawks. I don't care that Geno Smith's playing. They look promising enough to keep it close. And I don't know if the Saints are very good, honestly.
I told you last week, no one's got much tape on him. And he came out and he had a pretty good game.
Yeah, he did fumble a couple times, but I guess that kind of happens when you're not playing very much for a long period of time. So, interesting. Before we get out of here, I went 1-1 in my Premier League picks last week. I expanded a little bit, though. We're going to go across a few different leagues now in the soccer betting world.
Oh, God, it's soccer betting. It doesn't matter. Those weren't added into your numbers here, were they?
No, I don't do that. No, this is just to, just see how I do at the end of the week. I'm going to go Premier League to start Saturday. Chelsea -700. They just wiped the floor with Malmo in the UEFA Champions League earlier today. They're rolling. They're facing Norwich -700. I'll take that easy. Crystal Palace completely choked against Liverpool a couple days ago. That was embarrassing. I'll take them to win, though, +100 against Newcastle. And then Leeds versus Wolves, +235 draw. Sunday, give me Tottenham +200 over West Ham. Tottenham has seen their stadium get, taken over by NFL teams the last 2 weeks. They're going to be ready to go, and they're going to beat West Ham. They gave me Liverpool +125 against Ronaldo and Man U. Let's go Europa League tomorrow. West Ham -275 against Genk. Very interesting game there. West Ham will win, and then they'll lose on Sunday. I think it'll be Monaco over PSV Eindhoven. Monaco, much better club there. That's +200. And then in the Bundesliga on Saturday, give me Dortmund and Erling Haaland, who's a tremendous goal scorer, against Bielefeld. And then a good one here. Give me this one to draw, +290. Cologne and Leverkusen. Very interesting game. So we'll see how I do. That is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches. 9 matches there, and we'll see how I do. 1-1 to start. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, lots of headlines to cover next week and lots of stuff. The NBA started, the NHL started, so going to be a lot going on, and we'll talk all about it, and we'll see if the Ben Simmons or Kyrie Irving situations evolve, and we'll actually talk more about the NBA than we usually do next week, and we'll see you then. Goodbye for 35. Auctioneer. So good.